What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cornercade. My name's Danny, and today, guys, we have one hell of a Chillin' Chat episode for you. We got major Black Friday deals all over the place in the home arcade community, and we wanted to bring it to you live tonight on this fine Tuesday. I have a couple guests going to join us tonight. We did schedule PD7 and BiggggyD. BiggggyD is able to make it, but PD7 had to sit this one out. He was a little sick, under the weather, so get well soon. Everybody in the chat, send him your wishes. But we brought somebody to take his place, and I will bring those guys both in just after this, guys. I want to bring you guys into the chat here. We got Nicholas Diorio in the house saying X-Men and Tron $299, $349, please. That would be a pretty good deal, my guy. We got Jason Little Alien in the building saying, I'd like cheap Tron, but I don't think it's going to happen. Most others I'm holding out for 2024 XLs like most people, I would assume. Julio Hernandez is in the building. What's going on, man? Let's get ready to rumble. Love it. We got T-Prez in the building. What's going on, man? C North, how you doing? Lethal Wolf is here, getting the chat hyped up, saying, hi, everybody. I'd like to see a $299 Atari 50 Deluxe cab. $299, I would get that. That's an amazing deal for that, if that would ever happen. It's going to be a couple years for that one, though, I would assume. We got BiggggyD, of course. He's in the house. Let's go. Build Retro Gaming Show saying hi to everybody. We got Lethal Wolf. We got Retro Rablat. Let's go. Saying how to do, everybody. We got Paul Mindeman in the house. Let's go, man. He's like, I don't even care when the show starts. I just want to dance. That countdown gets you hyped every time, man. Love it. TCK is in the building. What's going on, man? Miss Cornercade is in the house. She's sitting this one out because she's just tired at the end of the day. She just wants to go to bed. It's nice and comfy, so that works for me. Ralphie Duran is in the building. What's going on, man? We got Dark Realm Gaming. Let's go, let's go. Giovanni's in the building. Let's go, guys. Super excited. So without further ado, guys, let me bring my first guest here. It's BiggggyD's Arcade. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, anytime, man. I thought in the home arcade market, when there's deals and steals, there's only two guys to go to that are off my head, and that was BiggggyD and PD7 right out of the gate. So I'm glad you can make it tonight.
Yeah, always about the deals, always looking for good prices, especially Arcade1up. It's like my specialty, trying to find the best deals out there. So definitely happy to be here and ready to talk about Black Friday.
Definitely, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun for sure. And guys, there's one more guy. We need a drum roll, please, because it's Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Let's go, man.
Hey guys, PD7 couldn't make it, so they called in the next best they could have. So, second fiddle to PD, and I'm okay with that.
You got some big shoes to fill, my guy. Let's
That's
go. Okay, so we first saw a lot of home Arcade1up specifically sales. I want to say 3 weekends ago. They just came out of the woodwork. There's no announcement. I just was surfing on Best Buy, kind of just going on Google, and I found the Atari pub table right out of the gate for $299. There was also some other ones. I think the cocktail table, that version was $299, I believe, as well. What kind of sales did you guys see out of the jump, and what sales are kind of going on now? And then what could we see possibly looking into kind of like the future here, even though Black Friday is right around the corner?
Yeah, so there's three cabinets in particular that I've been focused on for the last few weeks. It's number one, the Street Fighter Yoga Flame. Number two, the MK30th. Number three, NFL Blitz. A couple changes this week, though, that I've noticed is NFL Blitz price isn't going down on it like I thought it would. May still hit, $199, $299 on Black Friday, but I haven't seen the lead up to those discounts or those prices like I do some of the other ones like Yoga Flame. Also, MK30th I thought would be a really good deal. It was last week, but this last weekend I noticed the prices went back up on it. So I think they're getting a little bit low on like that clearance inventory for the MK30th, and they probably have very little of that left. So they're bringing those prices back up on what they have left. And then I think that's going to shift, though, because they're still going to want to sell MK as much as they can this holiday season because we have the new update coming with the lobbies, spectate, all that for Mortal Kombat. So I think the MK2 Deluxe will be prime for really good deals here in the next week or two, especially on Black Friday. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of, like you, I've been seeing a lot of fluctuating prices the last few weeks. I think I mentioned this in the lead up. I think one of the most interesting ones I've seen, and it's been this price for a while, is the X-Men cap at $4.99. Seeing that a lot from a lot of different places. Um, it'll be interesting to see what happens in another week here when we really hit Black Friday. I mean, I know a lot of people are, a lot of uh, retailers are talking about Black Friday obviously already, and a lot of the deals right now are listed as Black Friday deals, even a week out. But it's quite possible we could see some interesting things. We might even see something directly from Arcade1up themselves. Now, I wouldn't say they're going to be based on Arcade1up's history. Direct from them, I wouldn't expect anything huge, but I wouldn't be surprised if even with some of the recent cabs, if we see like a $50 discount on some of them from them, just to kind of cash in on Black Friday.
Yeah, I noticed Amazon's doing $50 off all the brand new cabs. The HS5 Deluxe, I noticed is 50 off. I think there's a couple other brand new cabs on there also.
Yeah, the what is it? The Galaxian one, and I think Street Fighter. The Street Fighter Deluxe and the Galaga or whatever, the two new ones that just came out.
Yeah, the Galaga. That was it.
I think it's I think it's a coupon. I think it's one of those where if you look at the price on it, it still says $4.99, but in the small print, you got to notice it says a $50 coupon.
Yeah, you add that at the very end right before you pay. Gives you $50 off. So that's nice. We're seeing that already. So maybe those new cabinets like the HS5 Deluxe, like you said, Galaga Deluxe, maybe some others will be $100 off on Black Friday even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I know as far as like Best Buy goes, T2 is still $315 when you go in store. So you're not going to see that price online. So you need to walk in the building and just get an associate and say, hey, I want to order this, have it shipped to my house, or store pickup kind of thing. They don't have those cabinets like really readily available in the store. And then one that I found when I was just entering SKUs in the store is the Turtles in Time cabinet is also $315 in store. And that's going to come with a stool as well. Sell the stool for $50. It brings it down to like $260. I think that's a really good deal if you were a fan of the Turtles or wanted to get that cab, just didn't want to pay that full price for it.
I think that'd be a really good deal. Price on that.
That is a great deal for that Turtles cab for people.
They did that with the T2 at $315, but it only had one game on it, and that was kind of a tough sell even at $315 with one game. But TMNT, I think it's people are going to want to buy that at that price.
Well, the interesting thing about the T2, I think there's a lot more interest in T2 now with the Buy Stuff Store mod, because I've seen a lot of people. I've seen P-dubs, making content on that Buy Stuff Store mod for it. And that's a great thing to be able to do for that thing. So if you can get T2 at a really good price, like that $315 price, and then put the extra money towards that mod, you've got yourself a cab that plays, dozens of shooter games and is really, really cool.
Yeah, you're going to spend about the same you would on a Time Crisis, and you're going to have 50 games to play.
Absolutely.
Better guns, and a taller cabinet design with the taller screen height, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this can change day to day, hour to hour. We just keep refreshing browsers and stuff. I'm hoping that there's really some really cool stuff because even looking today, I saw there was a $100 Miss Pac-Man 40th edition party arcade, which I'm not really into those, but I actually have space right next to Star Wars here where I could fit like an NBA Jam one or something because I'm not going to get that full-size cab. So $100 for that's a pretty good deal. Trying to think. So for about 3 minutes, guys, on Arcade1up's website, I shot this over to BiggyD and PD7 because they were the ones that were going to join me today. I just type in arcade sales on Google, just kind of scroll through kind of thing, and I'm like, wait a second, what's this? And I clicked on it. Direct from Arcade1up. It was the Marvel cocktail table. So Marvel vs. Capcom cocktail table, $40.
Yeah, incredible, unbelievable deal. You
It was
said it had some shipping, right? Like
yep.
$90 shipping.
Yeah,
So it,
so it was
so
obviously a mistake.
yeah, so it was a mistake, and I had it in the cart. It was 140 total because of the $90 total. They meant to hit three like $400, $399, but they hit $39, and it lasted for only like 3 minutes. And I'm like, dude, I should just order this and see if they fulfill it just for the hell of it. Like,
Yeah, I'm
I don't have
wondering,
any
did
use for this
they
whatsoever.
actually send those out at that price, or did they
I
say,
had
"Oh, that was an error. We're gonna have to send you your money back"?
that's you could get one of them virtual high fives that everybody loves, but
Yeah,
I thought that
seriously.
I thought that was pretty funny just to kind of see that. But right now, that's all we got. And I was kind of asking you guys in the poll here, what cabinet are you looking for on a Black Friday sale? Only had enough
So,
room for 4 options, so
Yep.
we kind of did Street Fighter, Yoga Flame, the Pac-Man Pac-Mania Legacy Cab, the Atari Pub Table, and the NBA Jam Deluxe was probably going to be the newest one. I know that's on Wayfair for about $516, so it's a little bit off there. A little marked down a little bit. So I always look at that 516 price. It's pretty much $499, which is kind of like what it was probably should have been when it came out. But those are the ones that were on sale as of today. Nothing too major, maybe like 50, $100 off. But yeah, I'd like to see something like major. Like when it first came out, there was a ton of cabs, $299, $399. Like that's where we want to be for those Black Friday prices. We got a quick super chat here from Julio Hernandez. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat, man. Always supporting the channel, and I'm always grateful for it. Says, hey, Danny, thanks for bringing this content concerning Black Friday, Fast and Furious, Atari 50th, and Big Buck Hunter Deluxe. Julio, you aren't wrong, and I think Bill and a Biggie can agree on that. I personally would love to see those cabs for the community go on sale. I think Big Buck Hunter Deluxe, guys, I've told this to you 100 times on the shows that we have here. Totally underrated cab. If you get it in your house, it's got a ton of replay value. My wife begs me to play it every day, and I play it, and it's great. Actually, one of our viewers here has bought it just because I keep talking about it, and he loves it too. So guys, I would never sell you something that I wouldn't put in my home arcade or by myself. That's a phenomenal cab. It's really underrated. I just got it because we sold Big Blue, and I was like, well, this is the only one that's really out right now. Let's give it a shot. If worst comes to happen, worst, I just return it kind of thing. And it actually has become a main staple in the arcade, and we want to get a lit marquee for it to really kind of bring it all together. As far as Fast and the Furious goes, guys, I know the community was kind of split on that. I think it's a ton of fun at the end of the day. Would I wish it was like the real arcade ROM with like the real arcade graphics? 100%. Who wouldn't? But for what it is at the end of the day, it's actually really fun. And if you connect two of those together, it's a blast playing. Like it really makes you feel like you're playing, like Hydro Thunder with 4 racers. You're all sitting down racing against each other. It literally brings back that feeling for what a home arcade it is, being a stand-up version. And then Atari 50th, everybody kind of dogged that when it first came out. And when we started getting some videos surfacing of what the cab actually looks like, not a render of it, it actually looks really cool. And I think that would be one at like a $299 price point. That would be really dope too. I heard that there was some Atari 2600 games that were having some major problems with them, like they're damn near unplayable. So Arcade1up is definitely have to sift through the games there and kind of clean them up a little bit with a couple patches. But other than that, at like a $299 price point, I think that's money right there. But
Yeah,
I
thought there was like one game on there that they had to like swap out because it just didn't play right. And I think they did the same thing with the Casino Cade too. I think there was one game on there that wasn't playing right, and they swapped it out for a different game.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
But yeah, talking $299, $399, that was the common price on an Arcade1up just a couple of years ago. And I've been hearing a lot of talk lately about how much the price has, gone up. It's doubled in price. It's $5.99 is like the common standard price now. Maybe $4.99 if you're lucky. And that's just way too much money. I know you, Danny, you'll pay full price for a lot of stuff. I know, Bill, you've probably paid full price for some things. But you've also gotten some really good deals, like your At Games Pinball. You got a really good deal on it, didn't you? 400.
Yeah, I got that from that was a Sam's Club deal for like 400 something. I kept watching it, and every time like At Games would put it on sale, and it would only be like $100 off. You add the shipping to it, and it's right back up where it started. It's like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah, you got the
Yeah.
Sam's Club deal at 400,
Yep.
and I wish I would have done that. Looking
Yeah.
back on it, I really regret that I never, did that deal.
Yeah.
I even was shopping VIP Outlet for a while. They had it on sale for like $500, and just never pulled the trigger. And now I regret doing that because the new one, the 4KP, is 1,500.
Yeah.
That's just way out of my price range. Everything I buy at an extreme discount. Like all my Arcade1ups. All my iArcade I got used on a good deal. My at games I got an incredible deal on it. I got it for like $300. Got my Arcade1up Attack from Mars pinball for like $300. So everything I've gotten a good deal on, and I've been just waiting and hoping that Arcade1up or one of these other companies would put something out that I would pay full price for. And I feel like that new at games 4KB would be something I would pay full price for. I just don't have the money for that. It's out of my price range.
My wife is pushing hard for pinball in the arcade, so she's a big advocate of that. She thinks it'd be really. And let me preference this too by saying she's like, "No, Danny, I want real pinball."
Oh.
I was like, "Well, then I need to get a second job, and you need to get like a third job." I don't think you understand how crazy this gets. Would it be cool? 100%. They have like a Star Wars one, a Jurassic Park one. Like you see these other YouTubers getting them. It's like, that is very dope. Like, don't get me wrong. We right now in our tiny apartment don't have the space for it. I even think a couple, even get the 3 Arcade1up pinballs lined up, and that looks cool. Like,
yeah, I like to look at that.
Yeah, exactly. Get some like neon signs above it. Like it really brings back that feeling of just being in the arcades kind of thing. So yeah,
Well,
but I saw,
you can if you get one of the Arcade1ups, there are some soft mods out there. You can mod it to play all the games that all of them have. Just if you're gonna do that, you got to do something with that PCB. You got to either open it up or add a fan to it or something to keep it from overheating. But there's ways to make it work.
Yeah, and you can put Zen pinball games on it even, like ones that you paid for, but they don't look very good. They only run at 720p. So it's, the quality is just not there. But if you can get a good deal on one of those Arcade1up pinballs, like I got $300, I definitely think it's worth it. Everything you're seeing on the outside is really good quality, and it really stands out, looks good in the game room. The games are a little lacking, they're not the best, but I think it's a good deal at like $300. But I'm definitely really interested in the at games. I've been playing a lot of Zen pinball on my PS5 and on my Switch lately, and just having a really good time with it.
Yeah, I picked up the Vibs board for the at games pinball that lets you plug HDMI in, and so if you plug a PC in it, it'll work with the back glass and all. I haven't installed it yet. I'm hoping maybe next week because I'm off. I'm actually on vacation for the week of Thanksgiving, so I'm hoping to play around with that. But I love it. And just
a gaming
just
PC
to bring that up a little bit here, because I know we're mostly talking Arcade1up, but At Games does have their own Black Friday sale going on right now through the end of the month. It's all HD related stuff, nothing related to the 4K pinball at all. None of the new pinball packs, nothing like that. But if you're looking to get into it, they, like I said, they do have their Legends machines on sale. They do have game packs, pinball packs, accessories, all that stuff on sale going on right now.
Yeah, and you were talking like this is mainly an Arcade1up channel for Cornercade, and I talk a lot about Arcade1up too on my channel, but it's hard to always talk about them because there's just not a lot of new products coming out right now. There's just not a lot to talk about. I think that'll change when CES hits in January. We get some new releases, some new products, but right now it's like we got deals for Black Friday, and then that's about it. And then what we just had released, Time Crisis, a little bit of talk there, but not much for Arcade1up right now.
Yeah, they kind of came out like at the back end here with like a lot of releases, but again, it's just like re-release stuff. I think Galaga looks gorgeous at a $399, $299 price point. I would bring that. It would be hard not to bring that in. It is hard too, though. We have this like gorgeous Dig Dug cab that I just got the Joe Sabos marquee for. I get the screen is not the same, but it's just such a cool looking cab. Like I head over there, and me and my wife have been score chasing each other in Dig Dug now. It's kind of like our new game that we're kind of playing. And that's the thing I love about the arcade.
I love Dig Dug. Dig Dug's a fun game.
Yeah, I like
totally
it.
underrated, dude. So like once you start like mastering more of the things, like if you get like 3 guys with a rock, like you get bonus points, and then like the little like turn up turns up or a carrot, you go get that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know that existed, to be quite honest with you. So my wife was showing me some moves, I was showing her some things. There's just some really cool stuff. Like again, a game like that, we've played games before where we started score chasing bubbles together, and that's just all we're doing is we're just going at each other in bubbles. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is really cool to have like your partner be just as much into your hobby or their hobby as you are, because it just makes for more fun, and it's super cool. You can't really chat yet online with people that you're playing against, which would be really cool if you could do that through the Arcade1up app or whatever home arcade app that you had.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the arcade has endless replay value. We're at 16 machines and counting kind of thing, so it'll really never get like stale for us as far as content goes. Yeah, NBA Jam came out. It's like, okay, kind of been there, done that. Told Cyrus when I had him on, I said if that was a 2-player instead of a 4-player, because you re-release the thing, I'd have bought it in a heartbeat. He really gave me the really look, like 100%, like those
Mm-hmm.
4-player control decks kill an arcade, like in a small space kind of thing. So
Yeah.
if there was something new and exciting, of course, like I believe now that 80s cab was definitely Smash TV. And I don't know if they were hemming and hawing and they couldn't get it released this year, so it's going to be kind of first thing in January, along with some other news, which will be pretty cool. I kind of heard that they're going to make like half and half with that. But that's just like what I hear. It's not something I'm reporting on. It's not something I'm confirming. It's just things like when I watch channels and people talk that are in the know, but they try to not spill the beans, even though the way they talk, they kind of do. It sounds like it sounds like to me that they're going to make half and half, which is kind of a cool thing. Kind of satisfies all the masses, but yeah, other than that, I'm hoping really for some big $2.99. Like I said, hey, guys, let me know,
Yeah.
and you guys too. If the pub table goes on sale for $2.99, blow up the email at thecornercade@gmail.com. I don't want to miss out on that again. I think it'd be a really cool. We talk about like the pub table, for example,
Yeah.
and you get into like predictions. What if they did something like that for like a pack? What's that 4-player Pac-Man Battle
The
Royale
Pac-Man
thing?
Royale. Yeah.
That would be dope. Like
Yeah.
that would be really exciting.
Yeah, that was on that list. That
Yep.
was one of the ones I think that wasn't going to happen. But who knows? You never know.
Yeah.
That was a real list, supposedly.
Look, first off, it's Pac-Man. So if they did it, it would just be a slam dunk for them because it's Pac-Man. Arcade1up loves Pac-Man, but I've heard people talk about it, and it comes down to licensing because it is a relatively new game. It's still in arcades. You go to, especially the big ones, you go to like a Dave and Buster's or whatever, you're gonna find a Pac-Man Royale. You're not gonna find a Pac-Man, but you'll find Pac-Man Royale. So
surprisingly, when I went to
the
Universal
fact,
Studios,
yeah.
they had some arcades there, and they have all the modern arcades, advanced ones that you see at Dave and Buster's. But every one of them had at least one Pac-Man, or a Class of '81 or a Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And I think they purposely do that. They want to keep that going. That
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying you don't find it anywhere, but you're more likely to find, like, at least the ones that I've seen, like I said, the big guys like the Dave and Buster's and stuff like that. I see the Pac-Man Royale all the time. I rarely see just a regular Pac-Man.
Yeah, you are right. It's unusual.
Or if I do, I see that the giant screen one.
Yeah.
Like they have the giant screen
Yeah,
Space
yeah.
Invaders.
Like the Galaga.
Yeah, and they have the giant screen. I see that a lot, but not like an old school, real legit Pac-Man.
And that's what I liked about Universal Studios is that they did that. They kept that heritage and that original nostalgic feeling of having a original Pac-Man in your arcade. I like how they kept that going.
Yeah. For me, like we've been to the Dave and Buster's and stuff. But it's always like, I'm gonna teach my kids that it's retro or nothing. Like I get them trying to do these things and making it kind of gimmicky and stuff. It's cool. We hop in Jurassic Park like shooter with the guns. Like my kids know what to do. Like that's fun. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm like, guys, let me show you something. Let me just show you something real quick. And this is where it started. And look at how it's evolved. But like this is where this is the '90s Bulls right here. Like you're never gonna see this again, kind of thing. Like this is the all-star crew. I'm so blessed that we've all been alive for this kind of thing, and it's really cool that like there are businesses out there that are keeping it alive. So my children and and everybody else can kind of enjoy. This generation can kind of enjoy what we got to enjoy in its kind of heyday. Julio Hernandez coming in hot with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, man, again for supporting the channel. Says, Danny, pub table or pinball if the price is right? Ooh, that's a good one. I think if the price is there, I'm getting both. Like, I'll slap it on a credit card. I'll max the credit.
Yeah,
the credit
that's
card's
where I'm at. Like you sent me that deal today of that $40 head-to-head. I have no room for a head-to-head. I have no desire to get a head-to-head. But at $40 with $90 shipping, I would have done it. I'll buy stuff if it's a good
if that
deal.
had been legit, I'd have jumped all over that. No
Yeah.
doubt.
Like the $150 Killer Instinct. Even if I didn't have room or didn't want it, I still would have got it because it's that good of a deal. You just can't pass.
No, you know what it would have been? It would have been, I don't know if you guys remember, sometime last year, I think it was Amazon had the, what was it? Was the NBA Jam or the Mortal Kombat, the Countercade for like $17?
Yeah.
And like people bought up like 10 of them.
What I don't like is when people buy a bunch of them. Yeah. And then they go resell them. I do not like that. I buy one and I do it and I enjoy it and that's mine. I don't like when people stock up on a bunch of clearance items. Let everybody have a chance at that.
So to get to Julio Hernandez, I'd actually buy both. I would just max out the credit card at that point because there's just a little bit left on that, and I would just worry about the tax returns when they come in to pay it off, kind of thing.
See, I've got my credit card paid off. Zero balance.
Mine has like 5 to 7% left, and then it's done.
Oh no!
And I was thinking about saving Christmas on there and kind of taking care of the kids, but totally get both.
Now, I'm still paying off a bathroom, so there's that.
Yeah, that's the joys of being a homeowner, right?
But after Black Friday, I'm probably going to end up charging some things I probably shouldn't. Just because the deals are going to be so good.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. And not to get let me touch on that too with the resellers. Like, I roasted a bunch of them. So on Facebook Marketplace, we had people selling these things at like $700 a pop, brand new in box. And I'm like, I'll give you the $150 that you paid for it if you want. We can do that deal.
Yeah, right.
Roasted all of them. I roasted like 10 people in my area, and they just got shut down immediately. Like, because I think it's really I get reselling, but I think it's really like shitty for you to go ahead and do that to like people who just want to enjoy the games at the end of the day. I don't like resellers. They come into Best Buy all the time, kind of thing. It just rubs me the wrong way. It's like, dude, get a job. Like it's so stupid, but that's a whole nother topic. But like, so what were we getting into now? You brought up a really good point.
Before we started, you wanted to focus on deals and Black Friday.
Yeah. No, we just brought it up right now. What did we just talk about? It was just brought up on the tip of my head, and I was like, wait, let me address the resellers real quick. It was it wasn't the Countercade for 16. That was a reseller. What did we just talk about? It just literally just went through my head. I missed it. Oh, well, look at this. We got a $4.99 super chat from Council Fanboy saying, let's go. Love the panel. Love the channel. Thank you, man, for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, damn, I forgot. This never happens to me. I feel like an old man now.
I was going to say, don't ask me because I forget. I forget what I was doing 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, I think, Danny, you said that on a stream recently that you'll say something like 2 or 3 weeks later, you'll be like, what? I didn't even remember saying that. Like,
literally just had this conversation with my wife in the kitchen. It was so funny. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah. So if you guys in the chat have any questions, there is a poll going on right now for what kind of deals you would like to see. You already know my vote is the Atari pub table. And apparently, if there was a pinball, Arcade1up pinball at the same price, I would jump on that too.
If you guys are interested in pinball, I would start with the virtual pinball. But then, real pinball is where it's at. You know, virtual pinball, it just doesn't, it's not the same. It is fun, but real pinball, there's no comparison. There's no substitute. It's the best. It's just they're $10,000.
Right. And a lot of maintenance and upkeep.
Yeah, if anything happens, it can be, I would assume, very frustrating. Thank you, Daryl.
The maintenance. I had an opportunity to get a $4,000 Bally 1995 Dirty Harry pinball. Excellent condition. Guy was going to help me move it, everything. But I started thinking about 6 months, a year down the line, I'm going to have to be doing maintenance on this. I'm going to have to find parts for it. I just didn't want to get involved in all that. And maybe later on, if, I'm in retired, years and I have a ton of money to spend and a bunch of time, I may get into real pinball at that point. But I'm not there yet. I just go to the arcade and play them.
Yeah, it's hard to do that stuff when you don't have like a big dedicated basement when you're in an apartment. I mean, these are home arcades for a reason. They're quarter scale size. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
Miss Cornercade brings up a good point. It kind of you can't see it in restream, but Daryl, thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Guys, if you aren't, you get to use our emojis. You get behind the scene content. It's 99 cents for the month. I always say you can't even get a soda out of the vending machine for that much. So you might as well go ahead and become a member, kind of thing. So thank you so much, Daryl, for becoming a member. Um,
Yeah, that's how I
game,
did my pricing. It was 99 cents to become a member. It's just $1, and it really supports the channel.
100% Biggie. Like it goes, guys, it goes a very long way. It's 99 cents. So it goes a very long way to actually supporting the channel because YouTube has to take their cut at the end of the day. And it allows us as content creators to go ahead and then bring more stuff to you at the end of the day, like the Atari pub table that is on our minds. We could do an unboxing and review on it. So it'd be pretty cool. I recently just got a second webcam and give it another shot during those unboxings. I'd like to eventually get a desk for in here. It's not a big space. I'm working with 2 bar stools. I'm literally like B Kong. Have you seen B Kong set up? He
So
puts
you
his
have a
laptop
laptop
on
on a
top of
bar stool?
yeah, yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep, it's on a riser, so it's very Arcade1up-esque. And then the laptop is here. If you guys are members, I've taken pictures of my setup, kind of behind the scenes stuff, so you can check it out. And I got the ring light set up, but I would like to upgrade. We recently purchased a Stream Deck, but to make like sound effects on the show. But again, Restream is very like we got to give them some feedback or something that they can change that because they only allow for 1 audio input, so it kind of stinks. But Game Room Guru here had a good question. Does the panel think that Cyber Monday deals will be better or worse or the same as Black Friday? Great question. Why don't you guys hit that?
I'll start, I guess, on that. So Cyber Monday can be hit or miss, where Black Friday is like a guarantee. Like you could get an incredible deal on Black Friday. You may get a little bit better deal on Monday, but you're taking a big risk, and I don't think it's worth it. Cyber Monday is more of like those deals, like maybe you forgot something, you thought you wanted something, you forgot, you get it on Monday. I would focus on Black Friday. I think guaranteed that's going to be the best price. Or at least very close to what you're going to get on Monday. It's just not worth the risk.
Yeah, and I think nowadays, like a lot of retailers, they treat it the same. It carries through the whole weekend from right before Thanksgiving through the Monday. So you're going to see the same deal all the way through. A lot of times too, the Cyber Monday deals are going to be just different deals than the Black Friday stuff. So if you're thinking, oh, there's this on sale on Black Friday, but maybe it'll go on a better sale on Cyber Monday, chances are it won't, and it'll be something else on sale for Cyber Monday. So
yeah, the ones that are on sale on Cyber Monday usually are like the items that aren't big ticket items or aren't the big sellers. Those are like Julio said, those are the leftovers. That they're trying to get rid of at the very end of that weekend, or just to kind of clear inventory for the year.
I can only imagine Paul's hurt here. I'm paying off a $30,000 driveway. That's insane. Like, there's perks of owning a home, and then there's not. I mean, Bill, you can speak on that. I've never owned a home, but Jesus, like that's insane.
I like Bill's arcade though. You got like a whole arcade set up in like what was that, like an apartment or something that you had leased out, and then
it's decided... my home is actually it's a 2-family home, and my wife and I, we live in the downstairs portion of the house because the upstairs portion was where my mother-in-law lived when we first got married. She's passed away a number of years now, so we basically converted the upstairs part into our hangout game room area. So I've got like a living room and a dining room area. As a matter of fact, shameless plug, I got a new tour video coming out probably either later on this week or early next week, so people will get a chance to see how it looks now. So the only new game in there right now is the Street Fighter 2 Deluxe, but I've gotten some cool decorations and add-on stuff from Comic-Con and from other places and stuff that I thought would be fun to show off.
How are you liking the Street Fighter?
I love it. I think it's a great cab. And again, talking about deals, that was one of those, when that first dropped at that $399 price, it was too good of a deal to pass up. So I jumped on that, and I'm very happy I got it at that price.
100%.
Sure.
I sold Yoga Flame in a heartbeat. Took the $100 I had left over, kind of thing, from selling that, and I bought it for the Street Fighter, and how is that? How is like playing with the deck, Bill? Because it doesn't have that plastic deck protector anymore. How does that feel?
I think it's fine. I haven't noticed any issues with it yet. Give me a few more months. I may revisit that. But as of right now, that deck feels fine. I don't notice anything too different with it not having. As a matter of fact, I think it's a little more comfortable without the plastic. That front piece, I know people have talked about it being a little loose, but not on mine. I mean, not really. I mean, look, can I take it and move it slightly if I really work at it? Sure, but you could do that with a lot of places, a lot of things that
Yeah.
kind of push together.
It's pretty solid
and whatever. But for the most part, it's pretty solid. And even without the like I was concerned without the riser, because this is my first Deluxe, at it being wobbly, and it moves a little bit more than some of the others. But you got to get like really intense, and at no point does it feel like it's going to fall over just because it doesn't have the riser. I mean, my cabs with the riser, I start to play, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 pretty intense, and that sucker's moving all over the place too. They're light. They're gonna move.
Yeah,
unless you're gonna strap them
pounds,
to the wall, they're gonna move.
Yeah, last time I was on your channel, Danny, we were looking at those Buy Stuff store boosters, and they fit in perfectly now that they don't have a riser, because it kind of looked funny before. You had the arcade, the riser, and the booster. Now you just have the arcade and the booster. It looks pretty good.
And it's like a seamless riser, so there's there's some things I want to do with my NFL Blitz. I would love to make it a 2-player control panel, which would be the big one. Obviously swapping out the marquee, and I'd love to make it like a Deluxe with a seamless riser on there. I've seen them in the wild, and I don't know if people are making these or if they're just getting them from somewhere. So I've been kind of asking around, but I haven't seen any stores like selling them yet. But then we saw the Buy Stuff store thing with the time crisis, and I was like, wow, they could be onto something, and I should message them to see, hey, what about making seamless risers for these guys? Because that'd be really cool, especially for tall people like yourself. I think the control panel is great on that Street Fighter. I think it's better than the plastic. And I'm really excited, like going forward, that hopefully will now be the standard. So that'd be really cool. Paul Mindeman
wants you guys been playing online?
I haven't really gotten into yet. As a matter of fact, over the weekend I was playing. I wanted to sit down and play through one of the beat 'em ups, and I played through Captain Commando, which was a hell of a lot of fun. I was hoping to get online and play with some people, and to be quite honest with you, I couldn't find anybody online playing at the time I was on there, which surprised me.
It's funny because of the form factor. I always hop on there just to like play it. Like, I always stated in my review video, playing the games on the right form factor literally makes all the difference. And that's why we get all of these 1-ups, because a multi-arcade wouldn't really do that for us. So it really does, like when you're there with the marquee and stuff, it really does make, oh dude, like this is cool. This is how it's supposed to be at the end of the day. Paul Miniman has a question for you guys. Says we need to talk about the AVP and the 3 to 4 people in the community who actually want it. Is that something that would be on your guys' radar? Possibly maybe on a sale or something?
Yeah, I mean, I think I may be interested, depending on what we get, final product, paying full price. I'm still waiting for the right cabinet to pay full price for on an Arcade1up. I was hoping, Time Crisis would be that, and it wasn't. And I'm hoping that with this one we're seeing, Alien versus Predator, it's not the final product. It only had 10 games. There's still room for 2 or 4 more games on there. What else could we get? They could definitely add to that list. I don't think they'll take away from it, but they would add to it.
Yeah, I'd be okay if they took away from it, to be honest with you. There's a bunch of games on there that, first off, 7 of the 10 games are on my Street Fighter 2 Deluxe. So
yeah,
I don't need them.
I feel like with this 3-player control panel, that's kind of like almost the highlight of the cab, much like the Street Fighter one was, where the control panels got that nice slant. It's extended. It's got no deck protector.
Yeah.
They really need to take advantage. I know that they're asking the community, Michael B, about like what should the games lineup be. They need to take advantage of those 3-player beat 'em ups
100%.
or 3-player games in general. Like, what are you doing putting 1944 on there? Like, who cares about Ghouls and Ghosts? That's a single-player game. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
well, don't say that to me and Bill. We like our Ghosts and Goblins.
Well, I would tell you, the funny thing is, of the single player games, those two I would keep on there, Ghouls and Ghosts and Ghosts and Goblins, just because we don't. I think what they did, Ghosts and Goblins on
Final Fight. I have it
yeah,
on my Final Fight.
yeah,
They did,
but
and
they'd
they did
never
it on
done
the Street
Ghouls.
Fighter
They'd never
Legacy.
done Ghouls and Ghosts. So those would be cool to have on there just because they're different. But you know what? Get rid of Strider. We've seen it 100 times. Get rid of Pro Gear. Get rid of these ones that are these single player games. Put Knights of the Round on there. Put, what's the other, the other one, the
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, but I know that one's going to be kind of hard.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is tough because of the license, and that's another one. Like, you got to go searching to figure out who owns it. I don't know if it's if it's still Kitchen Sink Press. Topps owned it at one point. Marvel, I think, owned it at one point. They put out some comics, so that one's been all over the place.
Everybody's
I don't even know who actually owns the license to that right now. But
so they wouldn't do like Darkstalkers or Street Fighter because it's going to need 6 buttons. And,
Rick, I'm sorry, you're right. Pro Gear is 2-player. I forgot about that. So that one could stay, I suppose.
But they could add a 3rd button, and it would increase the amount of games they could add to it if they do 3 buttons for each player. There's a huge list of Capcom games they could choose from. I mean, an endless number of games. But I think they will add, 2 or 4. I mean, 14 is pretty much the standard now on cabs for the ones we've been seeing.
Yeah.
So I think it'll still end up being 14 games, at least.
I would love to see the list of potential games that could be on there. So, like, we as a community can just look at it and be like, yeah, this one, and just vote on it or something. Because when you're just like, I feel like they're just throwing darts at paper and be like, oh, yeah, these are the 10 games because I hit them with a dart kind of thing. Real quick, TCK with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, man, for supporting the channel. Says, just a little for Katie's pinball fund. You hear that, wifey? If you're still watching, let's go. You get the pinball money fund
But
going.
Danny, wait, you know what that means, right?
What?
It means you've got to give the people what they want.
That's right. The only videos, guys, that I have here, I'll play a video for you. Here you go. I gotta get more.
Well, it had
videos
Katie
edited
on it, so I'm
right?
sure that made people happy.
There you go. That would be. I gotta maybe start developing some videos for some super chats. That'd be really fun. Bill, I thought you might like that one with your whole news podcast show that you got.
Yeah,
going on, so.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll just get with the chat here. Yeah. So Alien vs Predator, BiggggyD, you said you might be in on that for the.
Yeah, I may pay full price for it. I'm sure it'll come in at $5.99, but depending on what we get with it, what games we're getting, how good the controls are, how the marquee looks, all that, I will be interested. Because I told you guys I kind of regret not getting the At Games Legends pinball, but another one that I kind of look back on and wish I would have gotten when the prices were really low on it was the Street Fighter Big Blue.
Yeah.
The prices have gone back up on that, and it'll probably never go back down. And I kind of feel like I missed the boat on that one. I saw She Lion. She does a lot of modding to hers, and I liked her marquees she's put on hers. And I think it'd be a great cabinet for the game room. And this is another Big Blue, so it'll give me an opportunity again to get something new in that form factor.
Yeah, that Big Blue form factor I think is really nice. Biggie, I'm right there with you. I kick myself all the time for not jumping on the 150 deal when they had the Red Cross thing.
Oh,
I should have.
Oh, you didn't jump on that?
I
did
would
that
have
in a
gotten
heartbeat.
that. I wasn't in the stream.
You know what? It was one of those, like, I was waiting to see. It was because that was one of the early ones during that stream, and I was waiting to see what else they might do, because there were a lot of Star Wars rumors around that time, and that was before they re-released Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I should have jumped on it.
Yeah, 150
Kills
is nothing.
me.
But there were some deals on it where it was only $350 at one point at some retailers, and I just wish I would have pulled the trigger when it was $350, because now you'll never probably get that price again.
We had it in the cornercade, and I actually sold it. Sold it for $300, and probably the most profitable cab I've sold, next to Golden TXL, because I got that for that $315 price. And the control panel, guys, is like way too low. I can't stand and play at it. So BiggggyD, for me, it's a must sit, and I'm 6 foot.
Yeah,
So
it
for
would
you,
be
it's
one of
must sit.
those
You would
ones you would
to.
have to sit, and that's hopefully something they'll improve with this new one.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Like, where's the control panel going to sit? And I know a lot of people are like, well, Danny, guys, it's 36 inches high. That's like a real arcade. Yeah, but it doesn't have a 26-inch CRT monitor in it that's elevated. The monitor is 17 inches. It sits way low, so you're looking down like this. It's just not comfortable at all. So that was one of the things. Like, they definitely should have like adjusted a little bit, made it a little bit taller. But Bill, would you be in on AVP at all? I recently did a stream where I was doing some gameplay of it. Not a bad beat 'em up by any stretch, but
No,
it's a beat 'em up.
AVP itself is a fun game. Absolutely a fun game. It's just, again, going back, I'd have to. I'm kind of with you, Biggie. I'd have to wait and see if they change or add to that games list, because right now, like I said, even the fact that there are a couple of games on there.
Yeah, the way it is right now,
that would be 3 players as compared to the 2 players I can do on the Street Fighter. With 7 of the same games as my Street Fighter 2 Deluxe now, there's no value there for me.
Yeah.
AVP isn't enough of a draw for that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get the Street Fighter Yoga Flame on Black Friday. I mean, we're already seeing incredible deals on it. It'll probably be like $200-300. I'm probably going to get it. Once I do, I'm going to have most of those games. So there'll be very little reason for me to get Alien versus Predator, or especially to pay $600. Maybe get a deal on it a year later, but I'm not paying full price. So they definitely need to add to that games list and give us some really good gems, something to make us want to get that cabinet.
Yeah, I would be out just based off the control panel alone. You guys know me. More arcades, more better. So I would be out with that control panel. It's 2-player or 1-player or nothing kind of thing. And then BiggggyD, to your point, when I did do a review on the Yoga Flame cabinet, I was absolutely blown away by the form factor, because that was the first time that they brought that midway body style into their arcades. And I was like, wow, this is going to make for getting Marvel vs. Capcom 2 a blast, because of the way the control panel felt, the slant, the height, the boxed in, the marquee's beautiful. Like, if you get that cab, you're going to be blown away. Even though it's a ton of riser and stuff, it's still great. If that was a great deal, I might pick it up again. Who knows? Like, if it's a little bit cheaper than the $300,
if it's like $200, it's like
you
can't pass on it.
You can't. It's a great cab. I had the Shinku Hadouken still in here, and then I obviously got the Street Fighter behind me. But it's an awesome cab. It's an awesome body style. It's well worth the sale price if you guys are waiting out for that.
Yeah, we had a really good deal on it this week. It was let's see, Street Fighter was $329 at Dell with a $75 promo e-gift card. So really good deal. And then we also saw one at Kohl's, which was $349 with $105 Kohl's cash and 5% back in rewards. And that's pre-Black Friday. So give it a couple more weeks. I think it'll be $299. That's tops. We could see $199 even on Yoga Flame. They really got to get rid of that inventory with the new one out now.
$199 would be insane. I think $299 is as low as they're going to go. I think once it hits that $199 realm, it's going to Ollie's. And
Ridge Racer last year, wasn't it $199?
At Best Buy?
They had a big. Yeah, they had a. That's what I thought too. Or was it $199?
Yeah, it was $199 or $219 or something like that. Maybe it was $219.
I got it at $350 on like some kind of Memorial Day sale. I was like, whoa! And I actually got T2 at that price too. I was like, screw it, it's a buy one.
But it was around. It was around this time. It was close to the end of the year. There were a couple of them, Ridge Racer and maybe some of the Legacies or whatever. They like dropped the price big time on them. Might have been an in-store thing,
$199 was the Ridge Racer price.
Okay. That's
and
insane.
I'm looking at Reddit, and the post was $199, and that was on November 18th, 2022.
There you go.
At Best Buy.
At Best Buy, yep.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be insane. I would rebuy that right now, even though it's a little bit small form factor, because they did revamp the Fast and the Furious, and now everything sits higher, and it's great. It's at that comfortable height now. Because Ridge Racer was just a little small to play, but at that price point, it's hard to say no to something like that, especially with like some of the buy stuff mods out there that you can get all these games and stuff on there. You can really bring new life.
Yeah,
to some of these
I always
tabs.
buy it and figure it out later. Like if I don't have enough room or whatever, it's like I'll just figure that out when I get it home.
Yeah, you can't wait. You can't
yeah.
wait on stuff like that. $40 Marvel pub table thing.
Worst case, you're
cocktail
returning
table.
it or
Exactly.
selling it. That's worst case.
Rick Hose says AVP should have Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Armored Warrior, Cyberbots, Battle Circuit,
Yep.
Captain Commando, Knights of the Round, all the games that fit the theme of the cap. Exactly. That's what we stated here.
Yep.
100%. Like, you're not going to put Street Fighter on there. That's just dumb. Like, there's no 3-player Street Fighter.
Yeah, if they could get Cadillacs and Dinosaurs on there, that would be huge. That's a great game and a lot of fun to play. And who doesn't like dinosaurs?
It's a great game. It's so much fun.
So I actually have that. I should do a playthrough on that on the MVSX. I did the high-low hack on it, so I have that game in the rafters there. But Cyberbots, I've never heard of that. Is that a 3-player beat 'em up?
It's it's kind of like it's a beat 'em up, with robots.
Okay.
I have it on my at Games Legends Ultimate using my coin ops. I play it on there sometimes.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Oh no, I'm sorry. Cyberbots is a fighting game. It's a fighting game with
robots.
It's
a fighting game?
Yeah, it's kind of like Street Fighter, but with robots.
Oh, see, that's weird. Unless it's like 3-player, that's just weird.
Yeah. P-Dubs, they called in second fiddle, so sorry, you got me.
I did say let's get someone to fill in for PD7, and I suggested P-Dubs and Moat. And I was thinking Bill, though. I didn't say Bill, but I was thinking Bill, and I'm glad you're here.
Well, thank you. Nice save.
Yeah, I threw it out there, and I was like, hey, like, come on over. And he's like, dude, I'm available. I'm like, let's go, man. Because, Bill was on my 1,000th subscriber episode. It was really cool. We had a bunch of people on. But I always wanted to get Bill back into the corner cake kind of thing and do stuff with him because Bill is just a great guy at the end of the day, much like BiggggyD here. So it's really cool that you guys are able to stop on and talk Bills with us.
Yeah, and the stars never aligned. And, even tonight with the last minute, it was like, because we usually have some like family time, like on a Tuesday night. But at 10 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, everybody's, getting ready for bed anyway. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. I could jump on.
I guess that's the one positive thing of having like the late night show here. Yep. It's like, hey, everybody can kind of just squeeze a little time in. So let's go.
Have you guys ever played a game called Power Stone?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yes.
I don't know how many buttons that requires.
I was gonna say because that's kind of I think it's like a
4-3D fighting game.
Fighting game.
Yeah, I've seen people playing it on their iArcades, and it looks like a really cool game.
Mm-hmm.
I've not heard much about it till recently, but that would be a good one to throw on there if you could.
It was a big one, I think, back on the Dreamcast. It was the first time I remember seeing it, and it was kind of that new style of when fighting games first started going into like the 3D realm with the polygons.
And talking about Knights of the Round, I've been playing that on my phone. I have an old Capcom Classics collection PSP emulated on my phone, and it has Knights of the Round on there, and you have save points and everything. And I've been playing it whenever I have 5-10 minutes on my phone with a controller that I attached to it.
I didn't play that enough when we had the Big Blue, but I did jump in it 1 or 2 times, and it was a fun game.
It is a really good game.
Julio Hernandez says another good Capcom game was Dungeons and Dragons Tower of Doom.
Yeah,
I've never played it.
Another one I was thinking of. Yep. Mm-hmm. I think there's like 2 Dungeons and Dragons games, and again, same thing. They're like 3 or 4 players, so those would be great ones for a cab like that.
Yeah. So, what cabinets, since you guys aren't interested really in this one, which ones would you like to see next year? Because obviously, there's going to be more than just that and Robotron 2084 and Smash. What cabinets would you guys like to see?
Bill, I'll let you go first.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you that Robotron Smash TV one has definitely piqued my interest. I'm hoping that is a legit one, and we see it next year. I think that one's got a lot of potential for coming out for sure.
What skin would you prefer?
Look, I'm an old school guy. I think Robotron would be, even though it's very basic, would be a great skin. But I have to admit that the Smash TV one just it has a lot of color. It's very colorful. It's very eye catching. If I think they have to go with the Smash. If they're going to do just one of the two, they kind of have to go with Smash TV. I think it's got more of a personality to it, and it's got more recognition for a lot of people than even Robotron does.
And you're going to have the 4 sticks on there, so like to be kind of accurate with it.
Yes,
I
agreed.
think it would look better with the Smash TV art. 100%.
Yeah. So what I'm told, and this could be not true, we don't know for a fact till it's released, and anything can change. But from what I'm told, it's 2 molds and same games list on both. So you get Robotron, Smash, and Total Carnage.
Makes sense.
And you get that on both cabinets. Same mold for both with 2 different skins.
Yep. Well, I always said it would make sense for them to do the Smash one and have that be direct from Arcade1up plus the major retailers, and do the Robotron one as maybe a retailer special from Shop Hippo or somebody.
But where it gets tricky are the amount of joysticks. What are you going to do? Robotron, you could keep it with just the 2 instead of the 4. But then you would limit those other games to single player games.
No, you keep the same control deck. You skin it. It's the sides are the Robotron art. The marquee is Robotron. The deck mimics the look of the Robotron one, but it's got to have the same layout on both. So yeah, it'll look a little funky for Robotron being the 4 sticks instead of the 2 right in the middle. But your overall aesthetic will still be Robotron. That's the way they have to go with it. It's the same cab, just 2 different skins.
I threw it out there, Bill. Like while we're on this cabinet, I said, we're talking about XL and Deluxe. Why not do Smash TV in the XL, because you got the whatever, and then you got Robotron in the Deluxe, or vice versa, and you release them at the same time.
Like because Arcade1up won't do that. They will not do that. They'll do Deluxe first, and they'll do XLs later. They may prove me wrong in the future, but it seems to be their MO.
100%, because they're thinking, okay, well, Killer Instinct, well, yeah, you guys didn't know what you were doing with the Killer Instinct. That's the problem. If these are 2 different skinned cabinets, you're not releasing the same and the same, which you could do, because it looks like at this point, guys, the community is kind of split XL and Deluxe, kind of 50-50. There are those people that own a home or that are taller or that like the bigger form factor. There are people that may be in an apartment that just want a couple, maybe functional furniture. Like me, more games, more better. So I want to shove more in here and really get that arcade aesthetic going. So I think like the community is split at this point. There's not a lot of XL options. And what you're going to tell me now, we're just going to release said cabinets like a Smash TV, since we're on the topic. And then, you got to wait next year for the Deluxe. So I got to wait a year later. And this is what I was telling P-Dubs. If I was just going XL, it'd take me 20 years at this rate to get an arcade. It won a cabinet a year. 20 years later, I can finally, at 57, get my Arcade1ups that I finally want. Makes no sense.
But you're right, Danny. I mean, they need to offer a Deluxe and an XL at the same time. Give everyone the option.
Yeah.
Doing this at different times, it's not good for us. It's good for them because they get to start with the smaller design, make sure that's profitable for them, then move to the XL, because there is more cost involved with the XLs and shipping costs, things like that.
Yes, I don't have an Arnold Palmer tonight. We couldn't get to the store. But I'll have him on the next show for sure. So, Biggie, Bill, you said, okay, so Smash TV, what do you think? What else?
So Smash TV Robotron is for sure happening, like from what I've been hearing. And then I think what we saw with the leak on AVP, it's very close, almost 100% that's going to happen. But I had kind of created a list. This was just like my picks of what I wanted to see. 2 or 3 of these are 80s games. 3 of them are 80s games, and 3 are 90s games. And so 80s and 90s are going to be what Arcade1up focuses on next year. And the reason is they're not upgrading their hardware. They're going to stick with the same PCB. We've seen the limitations with MVC2 and these other games. They're going to go back to what works. And so I see, a number of 80s games, a number of 90s games. Ones I want to see are Cruisin', USA, and World, which will be very difficult with Nintendo. Virtua Fighter with Sega. Primal Rage with Atari. which I think Midway owns now, from what I've read. And then those are your 390s games. And then for 80s, Tapper, Xevious, and a Joust XL.
Ooh, interesting. That's a good list. The only thing I will say to the Primal Rage one is I'm wondering, like you were talking about, the chipsets and whatever. I'm wondering if their current chipsets can really handle that game. I mean, look, Code Mystic did some amazing things getting Killer Instinct to run. They'd have to
Those
work
games released the same year.
But still, I think they'd have to be involved and have to work their magic to get Primal Range to run well.
Oh yeah.
From what I've been told by like Travis is I agree, like their hardware should be boosted up a little bit because you're getting these overheating issues, whatever. But he said on Arcade1up's current hardware, they can pretty much do any game if they have the right developer, like a Code Mystics, to really get that game right and make it run properly. So that is at least a little bit of light of hope because, we do want to see these games. A Primal Rage would be cool. I don't know what else you would put on that.
That would be tough, what could you even include? And there is that unreleased Primal Rage 2 game, but could you even get that, being that it's unreleased? So it'd be tough. But let's get the cabinet, and then they can figure out the games list later. Get the license for Primal Rage, figure that out later. Cruising would be really tough because Nintendo.
Yeah.
Virtual Fighter would be cool. I mean, they've worked with Sega before in the past. The Virtua Fighter 1 would run. Virtua Fighter 2 would be tough. And there's a lot of Sega games you could throw in with that.
I think the next, if we were talking fighting games, I think the next thing I would love to see a Tekken. Just because I'd
cool.
It would really be really cool, guys. Let's just be honest with you. Yep. Guys, if you don't know it or don't remember it, once you play it, you're like, oh yeah, this is a pretty dope game. I forgot. You get Tekken 1, Tekken 2, Tekken Tag on there. You would have a lot of fun. Some re-releases we could throw out there. I've thrown this out to the community, guys. I want to get your take on this. Haven't really been able to talk to you guys about this. If they re-released a Golden Tee Deluxe, actually got it right this time. The reverse printed acrylic marquee. You get the control panel off this guy, right? So you got a little bit more room for that ball, so you don't hit your hand against the glass there. And then you get a coin door on it. You got the deluxe feel. Maybe you throw a Silver Strike bowling, or you take the same PCB and you got the shuffleboard and the bowling from the XL. I think that could be a real big hit. If they did that, I'd buy it day one. Outrun
I think
Deluxe,
it's highly likely they're going to do a Golden Tee Deluxe. It just
that would
sense.
Be amazing.
You've seen all the other deluxes they've done, and that's I think Golden Tee's right in there with all their most successful licenses or most successful arcades.
I'd be in on a Golden Tee.
Look at Arcade1up. You heard it here first. Yep. We got probably 3 guys here that be in on that. In a heartbeat,
we had a vote at work on which cabinet we wanted to get because Dell was going to offer us 1 free cabinet for our break room, and everyone voted for Golden Tee. We ended up not getting Golden Tee because our boss decided he didn't like that game, and it was so really up to him.
Yeah, of course.
We ended up with Blitz, but everyone voted for Golden Tee, and people were really pushing for that. The only problem with that Golden Tee XL was the screen. If they'd just gotten the screen right, it would have been perfect.
Oh, it would have been absolutely a smash. 100%.
Yeah, we had it in here. My daughter, who's 3, probably her favorite cab, she was just whipping that trackball down the lane. I had to set it to 4 players so she could just play because she was just speed running that thing, and she was getting strikes. She was doing her thing, but she loved it. And the music that was on there is super cool. Me and my wife played it all the time. It's a quick bowling got the most play on it. And I love Golden Tee. I love the Golden Tee series. Shuffleboard was fun.
If they could get it playing online playable too.
Oh,
yes, play golf online. That 100%. Would be huge. You know how they're 100%. Doing the tournaments right now for the fighting games? You do 100%. A golf tournament? Oh man.
That would
Sky's
be really
the limit
dope.
With that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So that's one on my list. Outrun Deluxe I threw out there. Redoing the marquee again, giving it that Fast and Furious form factor. I think that could go a long way. Even taking it a step further, seeing if you can kind of get the pedals a little bit better, buy stuff, those kind of pedals. That would be tremendous. And I had another one on my list, kind of like an underrated one. What about Frogger Deluxe? Kind of just redoing some things there. I know the music's not right, guys. I get it. I understand. I rewatched the Seinfeld episode. Then I remember playing it because we used to have it. And
Frogger's a good game. I'm just not a big fan of the artwork on that cabinet.
Yeah, I mean that's Hey, look at my guys; they're all smashed together. You don't see the artwork anyways. You got your show pieces on the end, so that's where you can redo it. I got Star Wars on the end because my
But I
daughter
think you
loves
can't
playing with
go
Darth
wrong
Vader.
with
But
Frogger. I mean, that's going to
no,
definitely be a
you
good one if you're going to do
Yeah.
an
you,
80s game.
you get that
Well,
molded coin on there. You fix some marquee issues. You make it higher because it was at 57 inches. But totally.
Well,
But
I'll go one better on that because one that I've been championing since I started my channel is a Konami. Well, I guess with Legacy cab is what they used to call them, but now if they did it in the deluxe format, give me a Konami cab. Give me theme it on Contra because people know
Contra would be
Contra.
huge. Oh,
Give me a
man, Contra
Contra
would be
cab
so awesome.
and throw games like throw Frogger on there. And there's so many different Konami games they could do. Of course, there's a lot of speculation on whether or not they really have any kind of licensing deals with Konami anymore. But give me it in Contra, make it a vertical monitor because Contra needs a vertical monitor, and put mostly vertical games on there. Give me Frogger, give me Time Pilot, give me Time Pilot 2. There's just so many of them that they could do, and it would be a smash. I think I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Julio Hernandez with a 199 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Says poll for next stream, Danny, XL or Deluxe. I got you, man. Next week's show, I will definitely remember that. Thank you so much, man, for supporting the channel. Mr. Corner K loves Frogger Deluxe, but then I got Toxin over here saying, nah, no Frogger, man, I'm good. Hey, these are just re-releases, guys. So like I've stated before, I said this to Travis. I said, Travis, write this down. Said it's Arcade1up kind of thing. I said, guys, if Arcade1up can do 4 titles, brand new titles a year, that's one every 3 months. So think one a summer kind of thing throughout the year. And I'm talking about like new titles, like said Smash TV kind of thing. Not Alien vs. Predator, because that's not really a new title. That's just a game slapped on a Street Fighter cab, essentially. I want like new titles. Then you could do your re-releases in between. So whether you want to re-release, let's say, Mortal Kombat in an XL, great. 2 weeks later, do a re-release Outrun Deluxe, great. Like keep these cabs coming. Those factories over there should be just turning and burning. Boats should be over here. Should be no reason. Kind of like what we got we got a dump off of cabs at the end of the year because there wasn't really anything going on. There was a Fast and the Furious that we bought, and then we're like, well, let's buy another one because that might be fun because there's really nothing else out, and it was fun to race against each other, but there was just really nothing. It was kind of slowly matriculating. I think that would be really cool, just getting titles out, because if you guys really think about it, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of arcade games. Even bringing in, like we talked about early in the show, the Pac-Man Battle Royale, you can bring things that are new, that are in the arcades right now kind of thing. What if Arcade1up came out with a Terminator Salvation? Like, think about it. The possibilities are endless. So you don't have to say, well, we can only do 2 titles a year because we're going to run out of titles. Like, no, you're not. And you can reskin things. It's endless, guys. So,
yeah, there's always going to be new arcades that they can choose from, and as those age, they'll have their choice of those. And like you were talking about Jurassic Park by Sega. That's one of those ones that we loved at the arcades. We would love to have at home, but they have to upgrade their hardware. They have to get a better PCB, something more in line with what At Games is using on their 4KP. And then, I think people are willing to pay more. We're talking about $750 being a lot for a Time Crisis. I don't think we would be saying that if the hardware backed it up and the quality was there.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, the XLs aren't there. So even if I wanted to go XL, get Napalm Minderman here, it'd be Pac-Man and $1,000 Killer Instinct if it's still available. Like there's not much options there. So like that's not even like I know people are big on the XL, but that's not even, it shouldn't even be a thought right now until said titles are coming out where you got like 10 different titles. You're talking about a Time Crisis XL, Fast and Furious XL, Marvel's Capcom 2 XL, a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Atari XL. Then we could start talking, okay, like XL would be pretty cool. But I would clear out the cornercade for 1 cab right now. That's just silly talk. So for me, that's why it's kind of out. Plus, it's going to be more expensive. And I know a lot of people are liking that Pac-Man XL, but it's an exclusive right now to Costco. So I got to buy a membership to get this thing? No, yeah. I'm not in on that. That's just not something I'm interested in. But that's just me.
Yeah, I heard that if the Pac-Man XL sold well, they were going to make a Miss Pac-Man XL. And I haven't heard anything yet on like sales numbers or anything for the Pac-Man XL, but I think it probably heard it that it was just at Costco. Like you said, there's a lot of people out there that probably would have bought it if it was available at a non-membership store. I actually had some notes from last Sunday. I wanted to get into the subject. You have your retailers, you have your brick and mortar stores you walk into, you have like your online stores like Amazon, and then or Shop Hippo, but then you have your membership stores, and it seems like Arcade1up is really focusing and sending a lot of their product to those membership stores like Costco and Sam's and things like that. And I'm not a big fan of that because I don't have memberships at those places.
Yeah, it's not. It's like, I get, if you have a membership already, great. But like, if you don't, now it's another. Like, here we go. Paul Minneman is going to break it down for us real quick. He said it's 60 for a Costco membership, saves you about $100. Isn't that worth it? I get it though. Restrictions, access, sales. Like for
Yeah.
me, I'm not going to shop there, so it wouldn't be worth it. I could see like Best Buy is kind of doing this now too, where they're offering like a $50 membership, but you're safe. There's a unbelievable sale. So this is where it makes sense. There's a $50 membership right now. It's called Best Buy Plus, and it's a $1,700 gaming monitor. It's like a 42-inch, like, you're in a cockpit kind of thing. $750 savings with the membership. So that makes sense. Like, it's $1,000 now instead of 1,700. When I'm going to said Costco and I'm saving $40, I don't know if it's really worth it at that point when it's already at what was it, $5.99 or $6.99? Was it $5.99? The price of
The Pac-Man XL, I think it was $5.99.
yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of like a horse apiece at that point. It's not enough buy-in to really like to get into where. But again, it's only one title right now, so that's where just for me personally, it's not enough. I mean, Bill, how do you stack up against those XLs? Because I know Biggie kind of would be into it. He's 6'4". So like, what would be your take on like XL versus Deluxe?
I started with the 3/4, and now, getting the Deluxe. I like the Deluxe. I'm kind of like you. The space I have looks pretty big, but there's only so many areas within there that I can fit machines, really. So I'm okay with staying with the Deluxe uh, versions of things right now. I don't necessarily feel like I need to move to Excel. Plus, I'm not as tall as you guys. I'm 5'8", so I'm actually pretty good with the machines where they are.
That's a great height, Bill, for
So,
the Deluxes. Like, yeah, 6', 5'8", somewhere in between there. You're just fine.
so
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay with them where they are right now. I don't feel the
See, I
need to
don't
move
like
to Excel,
cram
but
all mine together.
but
I have like a little bit of
yeah,
space,
yeah.
So like I could do an XL and it wouldn't be, make or break for me. And like you said, I'm 6'4", so any additional height or size is going to be good for me on an arcade. I've been really getting used to my At Games Legends Ultimate and the size of that. So when I come back over to these arcades and I play these, they just seem so much smaller to me now than before I owned my At Games. So now the bar is higher. Definitely I'm going to want something bigger, taller. That's what I liked about the Big Buck Deluxe. They raised the screen height on it. I like the Pac-Man XL. So they are, I think, always thinking about that. How can we make them bigger and still stay within the limits of, what people want in their homes?
Yeah.
But I think next year's the year of XL. That's what I keep hearing. And normally when you hear stuff like that, that's, leading to probably something that's going to happen. So we'll see a lot of XLs next year, I think.
I think it's smart for them because I do think that, our own, speculation, notwithstanding, whatever. I do think that that is something that people are very interested in. I think a lot of people a lot of people have been excited to watch the evolution and see them get closer and closer and closer to what the real arcades look and feel like. And XL is that next evolution in getting a home arcade that feels like the real thing. So I get why people are interested in it, and it makes sense.
That Pac-Man XL, I mean, it looks like a real arcade until you get up to it and you start playing it. And then it doesn't feel like an Arcade1up either. Like it's kind of an unusual feeling when you're playing that Pac-Man XL because it does not feel like an Arcade1up because we're so used to how small they are.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's literally a split decision. I don't mind them coming out with all these XLs, but then give me those Deluxe new titles. If XLs are kind of like a year or two behind the game, kind of catching up, kind of like with Samsung to Apple. Samsung's always first, and Apple kind of strangulates and comes out with it later. that's fine with me because then we can enjoy the new titles whilst that people can enjoy the XL form factor. I mean, think about it: a Mortal Kombat XL, a Street Fighter XL. You're not telling me that any of these home arcade YouTubers that are or anybody in general that loves the home arcade are like, I'm not going to buy it for a fifth time. You're going to buy that day one, guaranteed, because it's going to be a whole new form factor, something to talk about. It's going to be that big deluxe XL style. So that's kind of like the evolution of where this is going, and that's they'll definitely get you with that.
Even on the deluxes too. I just wanted to point out, Danny, your new HS5 Deluxe and also Bill's, it is much taller. It's got that neck at the top. So even in the deluxe, they are improving the height on those. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty tall. It's almost as tall as my Arcade Gold, which is
so
the tallest one.
At 60. It's at 63 inches tall. I think Time Crisis is 70. So I mean, you're right there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the arcades need to get wider. Like, keep them like that. Just make them like a little bit higher to get that marquee out of your face. Lift up the screen a little bit, and why go XL at that point? Because you're saving 6 inches on each side.
Yeah, when you're standing at the arcade, right? You don't want to be looking at, when you're looking straight, you don't want to be looking at the wall. You want to be looking at the marquee or maybe the screen or the bezel.
Yep. Right.
And when I stand at this and I stand straight up, even with the boosters and all that I have, I'm still looking at the wall. And I don't like that feeling. It's like with my at games, I'm actually looking at the bezel or I'm looking at the marquee when I'm standing right at it.
See, the thing is, I 100% agree that they should do them simultaneously. They should do Deluxe and XL at the same time. Give people the options. Which one do you want? I don't think we'll ever get to the point where they will go 100% XL and get rid of the Deluxes, because they're not. Walmart's one of their biggest retailers, and they're not going to jeopardize that relationship because Walmart likes their tiny little 5-foot ones that they can sell for $2.99 that don't have the lit marquee and whatever. They basically, and at this point now, it used to be they sold it without the riser. Now they take the Deluxe and they chop the bottom off of it and they sell it. Basically, those are the ones that came out this year. So they're not going to jeopardize that. So they're always going to have that Deluxe version that they can shorten to sell to Walmart for those retailers. I don't think we'll ever get to the point where it's XL and nothing else.
And talking about the Walmart Classic, which they used to not have a name. We would just call it the peasant version.
Right. And they didn't like that, apparently, right?
Now it's called the
peasant version. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Classic line now. And there's supposedly some new ones coming, like a new HS5 Deluxe version of the Classic. And then we should be getting a Miss Pac-Man Classic as well.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that Galaga one comes out too.
Well,
it would make sense.
Piggybacking off of the shorter things, there's nothing short about this $4.99 super chat from Council Fanboy. Thank you so much.
Good transition.
K Fox there with the transition.
Hey, we get everything in the corner. Okay, let's go. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, man. Says, can we stop for a moment to just appreciate how far this channel has come? No joke. I'm not kissing A, but you're really good at this stuff, Danny. Wow, thank you so much, Council Fanboy. When we first started, guys, you guys should rewatch the videos, like back in time kind of thing. I know my first appearance ever was on the Super Game Room dudes, and I had a cell phone in my hand.
I remember that.
Audio was terrible because I had you can't talk in these things. I can listen to them, but they're just terrible. And I was spinning around the room, just like talking. It's very funny to see.
And they were like, "Can you just stand in one place?"
Yep.
I was so excited to be there. We watch these guys all the time. Everybody, I'm a fan of everybody. I love the home arcade community. I've told that, numerous of times. And I was just always in the chats like, hey, can I come on? Can I come on? Because at the end of the day, like, I knew what I could bring to the table, but nobody knew who I was. So, like, why would we have this bozo on? He doesn't know. It's just another face in the crowd. But it's great that they gave me that chance. Moats, Mike of All Trades, and P-Dubs really gave me that Kickstarter to really have a voice, and I started just taking off.
Yeah, you are I feel, Danny, a natural at what you're doing with these live streams. Like, it just comes that way to you, and you're a very entertaining person. You're always keeping the chat engaged, and I like to see it, because there's always room for more creators. There's always room for new shows. Until we're 24/7, 7 days a week, home arcade on YouTube, there's always room for someone new. So
I
definitely
I
like it.
appreciate that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Those are kind words. I don't know because I only know me at the end of the day, and I live in myself, so I never get to watch myself really, unless I watch the replay. But this is who I am, guys. To ask my wife, she always says it all the time. I said "let's go" the other night, and she like snapped off on me. She's like, "This is not a let's go moment." Like it was very funny, but that's who I am. I'm like, dude, let's go. Like, and I was getting hyped, and it's something else.
No,
But
look, don't lose that enthusiasm. And look, you've you've gotten to the point where you're paying your dues. You're working hard at it, and that's what people recognize and they appreciate. So
that's really cool. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, for you guys, like you veterans, it's very interesting to like just hear other people's takes. I told my wife, I would love to do this 24/7. I would love to be a full-time content creator. But unfortunately, right now, that's not up to me.
It's
to
very hard to
decide.
do. Even like
Yeah,
the people with like 1 million subscribers, I think some of them still work. Some of them, it's hard to make a living on YouTube.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
mean, you've got to be up there for sure.
We were talking. I'm trying to catch up to the chat. I don't know if you guys see anything here. Kind of piggybacking what we were saying.
And honestly, I don't know if I would want to. It's like you'd have to like, what if you one day they ban you? Like, what do you do? It's like your career's over.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I never have came to that moment. So I wouldn't know. But that would suck if they like demonetize you or something. Yeah, you're like done. You're toast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I created
That's
like a
why you never
website and started
that's why
putting
you
stuff on
never
that. So
put
it's
your
like I
eggs
have
in.
like another place, and
Yeah.
like I know a lot of creators too, like big ones, like have 1 million subscribers. They'll stream on multiple platforms because if they were to lose YouTube, they want to still be watched somewhere, So it's like they are always looking for other avenues and places they can, stream and
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's
show
all
off.
these platforms, and that's why Bill, you were saying don't put all your eggs in a basket.
Yeah, absolutely. You've always got to have something. Look, I have a day job. I do this. I have another business on the side. It's you always keep your options open, and when you do get to a point where you start to get some money, you find ways to invest it,
Yeah,
and not in
I
home
think-
arcades because that's a
Yeah.
bad investment.
Speaking of investing money, my wife and I, if we had the cachet, we would totally open up a real arcade. Like that would be so dope. So
I feel you on that. Like one
that
day
would be
when I
really cool.
retire, it's like I've been thinking like an arcade would be a perfect job or something to do in your retirement years, and it'd be something you would enjoy and hopefully make a little bit of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how like even so we talked about growing the channel and stuff. I mean, even this room that we started, like we literally called it the Cornercade because there was one arcade in the corner of our living room, and it was just sitting there, and we were playing it. The kids loved it, so I got a couple more. We had 3, and that was kind of like it. We had a good mixture of the Pac-Man legacy, the Mortal Kombat legacy, and the Marvel's Capcom 1 legacy cab. And then it just started matriculating. All of a sudden we had 9 in the living room, and my wife looked at me and she said, "You got to do something with this because it's taking over our living room."
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what do we do? And we kind of sit down and we kind of game plan. We rotated everybody around. We got an extra bedroom. And then as it just, I got light up signs in here. I got all this cool artwork. We got 16 cabs. I now put soundproofing pads in here. Like this is a whole production now. It's really cool. And it's just really cool to see like the community engagement. And like I said, I love the home arcade community. When I'm in everybody's chat talking to them, it's great. Everybody
How
here's
long have
really
you
cool.
guys been in this community or a part of, home arcade, like watching it and, being in the chat? Like I started in about 2019 when I got my final fight cabinet, and I'd come across Justin Console Kits streams. And that's where it started for me.
So where it started for me, I got the Cornercade sign says ested in 2022. So it's going to be late 2021, early 2022 is where we really started. Don't ask me how. It came up on YouTube. It was a third floor arcade. This is Jason. Like,
Oh yeah, I like this.
Yeah,
his video. We saw it, and I'm like, I looked at my wife and I said, "This needs to happen if we ever get a house."
Yep.
Like, because just the ambiance at nighttime, everything lit up. I'm like, I fell in love. It was like love at first sight. And then I saw Michael B's stuff. I was like, wow, his game room looks really cool too. I'm like, what is all this stuff? And I started doing research, Arcade1up room tours kind of thing. And like, you see some of these room tours, like Bobby's Arcade World. He's literally got every single Arcade1up. Arcade Mountain, ridiculous. Like, it goes on, guys. Like, I don't remember everybody's game rooms, but and speaking of game rooms, as we're talking right now, I had 3 game room tours sent to me. So as you guys know, if you watch the show kind of thing, we always show game room tours. I know I got some guests on tonight, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save those game room tours for next week's show. Give us something a little talk about, a little breakdown. Also, I want to get things finalized. There's one of the community members here, Game Room Guru, super big supporter of the channel. Always here watching, super chatting. He said, hey, you want to do a giveaway? I said, bet, let's go. He said, I got this Miss Pac-Man riser just sitting here. You can give it away on the channel. If someone wants to pay the $30, $35, whatever to ship it, he said we can give it away on the channel. So I think we'll save that again for next week to kind of do that. Just because I got some guys here, we got some guests tonight. I wanted to talk Arcade1up sales, home arcade sales. We talked about the at-game sale. Bill, you brought that up. And we were talking about future predictions for anybody that's getting in here a little late. I know P-Dubs he kept asking, what are the sales? What are the sales? So right now, guys, if you're getting here, please, the $2.99 pub table, let me know. Message me, send me smoke signals, anything. I will pick that up. We really want it for our kitchen. It went on sale a couple weeks ago. It hasn't been like that since. It's been $4.99, just stuck there. So you guys, we're seeing the deals left and right. We talked about $100 Miss Pac-Man Partycade. That was a pretty good deal. I think there was 2 left. And I think
Street Fighter Yoga Flame at Dell. It looks like it went back up. It's $3.99 now, but it was $3.29 on Sunday.
Yeah, and didn't you get a gift card too with that?
$75 gift card. Yeah, that ended. It looked like. So you got to be quick about it. Some of these only last a day or maybe even less. So you just got to stay on top of it. Every morning I check. I'll Google Arcade1up and I'll look for the deals, and then I'll make a community post of whatever deal that is that I find. And I've seen Danny does that. I don't know, Bill, do you follow any of the deals and post those?
Sometimes if I see something that like really jumps out at me, I'll post stuff. But
right now I'm not
checking
seeing a
stuff
ton.
I'm not checking stuff all the time. I used to at one point, but probably not as much as I used to.
It just consumes you. Yeah, there's I might just check on my phone real quick, and if there's a killer deal, guys, check out my community post. I posted an NBA Jam that was actually sent to me. So guys, if you see those deals, please email thecornercade@gmail.com. On Wayfair, NBA Jam $5.19. If you're even thinking about it, that's a no-brainer. Pretty much a $4.99 cab at that point. So that's the one I would kind of lean to for big time sales, and that was in our poll.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle too at Best Buy.
Oh yeah, guys, just if you guys are just getting in, so $3.15 for the Turtles in Time cab. With the stool. So if you sell the stool for $50 on Marketplace kind of thing, I'll bring it down to $260. That's if you walk into a Best Buy and order it in Best Buy. It doesn't have to be in stock at Best Buy. Nobody carries those. They don't carry them anymore. They used to. But if you place an order either for shipping or ship to the store kind of thing, you can get it at $3.15 if you walk into Best Buy. And then T2 as well is still at that $3.15 price point. Which is a pretty good deal with that, buy stuff store arcade mod that they got going on there.
So 2 weeks ago, we saw a credit to the original Arcade1up Facebook group. If you guys aren't a part of that, I would join it. But there was a $100 NFL Blitz at a Walmart, and they had photos of that.
I checked our Walmart today. We were out and about in the wild, and I was like, honey, let's just go check if there's a Blitz. There wasn't even one Arcade1up anything there.
Yeah. Same thing with my local Walmart's got nothing anymore. They ever since the last year, the Simpson deals, they haven't had anything. As soon as they got rid of those, they were done.
Yeah, very rare to find them now at a Walmart. I have to actually search for them. Luckily, I have one about 5 miles away that has some. And but you'll find certain Walmarts will carry them, and they continue to, and they'll restock them. So it's like 1 out of every 10 Walmarts will have them now.
Yeah, people are really lucky. If you get a $100 Blitz, capitalize on it. Even Thumper Squid saying PD7 always finds the deals.
Yeah,
he said, $300 for Blitz.
$300's not bad either.
That's worth it at the end of the day. I know PD7 was supposed to join the show. He's feeling a little sick, guys. So if you want to send some love his way on his channel on the community tab, do so. He's supposed to join us tonight, but he'll definitely be back around the mountain when he's more healthy there. CT Jason too. How can I forget? That man had the arcade possible. Super
Yeah,
cool.
so something PD7, and I'll do it too. Not as much as he does it, but go to the store and actually get into the store, see the prices, see the displays. He's really good about that, and it's helpful too. You don't actually have to go do it yourself. You can just watch him, or if I do them, you can watch me, and I'll get into the store and show you guys all the Arcade1up products, all the home arcade products. Like I'd run into a Target a couple weeks ago and saw they have the countercades in stock now. They got the Marvel superheroes and the Pac-Man, and those went down to 100 this week with the Target Circle card.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking here at some Arcade1up sales. Nothing yet. It looks like $3.99 is a price point. I know HSN had a bunch. It was either HSN or QVC was like shooting them out. Like they had some pretty good sales, and then they had like $20 additional if you signed up for their email or whatever kind of thing. So there's another chipping away at it. But I guess
what I noticed too, which was kind of unusual and interesting, was Best Buy. By me, they are putting all the Arcade1ups right by the front door. So as soon as you walk through the door, you have like the security desk on your left. To the right are like 10 Arcade1ups lined up there.
Interesting, yeah. Just kind of get them out here. Here, they're right here. Take them.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't already, go ahead and vote in the poll. I only had room for 4 of them. It's kind of like, what cabinet are you looking for on a Black Friday sale? I'll give it just a second before I close it. We got 40 votes right now. We have 55 people watching, so let's try to get everybody to vote. While you guys are voting too, please give this video a like. We got 32 people that liked it. I'd love to see that 55 mark for everybody here. It's just a simple click. It's free. So let your voice be heard kind of thing. It really helps support the channel. And I do appreciate everybody watching.
I voted for the Yoga Flame because that's the one I'm trying to get. That's my number one right now.
Are you done? Are you going to do MK30th? Is that your number 2 or what?
MK30th or the MK2 Deluxe. I'd like to get both Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat this year on a Black Friday deal if I can. If I could pay $400 or $500 for both, that would be just incredible.
Yeah, I'll tell you the 2 that if they drop to a really significant price that I would jump on, and they're not on your poll, but if I saw a Tron or a Dragon's Lair at a really good deal, I would jump on either of those. Those are 2 musts that I've been waiting for.
I don't think you'll see Tron, but Dragon's Lair is possible. We've seen Dragon's Lair get down to $399. There was a point I think it got down to $349 even.
Yeah, if I saw that again, I would do it in a heartbeat. I got a little bit put away for the holidays that I know I could do one now.
There's some issues with that game though when they ported it over. There's some sound issues.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And I have it on my. I have the arcade. I have all 3 games on the arcade. They play great on the arcade, but I just love the way that cab looks.
Yeah, it is amazing.
And I would love to play it on it, looking the way it does. The audio isn't going to bother me that much.
It looks just like the original. I mean,
and I'm going to be honest with you. I have a sneaking suspicion, even though there's no Wi-Fi on that cab, I have a sneaking suspicion they're gonna fix that.
Yeah, they did an update for the Attack from Mars where I had to plug it into a computer to update it.
Back in the day, R.C. Wiley was my best friend for getting all the cabs. So I got X-Men $3.99 price match, Best Buy R.C. Wiley, sold the stool for $50. So I got it for $3.50. Did the same thing with Turtles. Trying to think what else. Did the same thing for Tron, $3.99 for Tron, sold the stool. I did it for. I didn't do it for Dragon's Lair. I got that for a Christmas gift.
Do you miss Tron?
Here's the thing, guys. So Bill, you're gonna love Tron. Are you more like an '80s cab guy, kind of?
100%.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought. You will absolutely love Tron. It's a showpiece, 100%. My kids loved it. They're 1 and 3 years old. They just kind of gravitated towards it because all the cool black lighting and the stick lights up. It just didn't get a lot of gameplay in the corner arcade. Like I would go over there from time to time just because it was like I kind of like exhausted my options. Let me hop on here. Bill, you'll love it though, 100%.
Yeah, because it's one of those like one of my all-time favorite cabs that I have in my arcade right now is Star Wars, because it was a game I loved playing. There was like it's one of those you know how you think back to different things from your youth. There was like a pizza place across from my high school, and we'd run across, we'd go across the street to the pizza place, and they had Star Wars in there, and I'd always play Star Wars. So I always think of that, like every time I play the
Yeah,
game. It
100%.
brings me back to that. So, and the same thing with Tron. I remember seeing. I'm a huge fan of the movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. Um, I don't talk about personal stuff a lot, but I am a software designer by trade. I'm a programmer, and Tron is one of the reasons I got into computers and into programming. Watching that
Oh,
movie.
that'd be a cool like nostalgia piece for you,
So,
dude. Like,
so
Yeah.
yeah,
I absolutely
100%.
have to have that movie, but to have that game. But
Think about it.
it's been out long enough that I know it's got to go down to a decent price at some
So
point.
if New Wave Toys makes a Tron, are you 100% in day one buy?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
I don't know how it's gonna play with that little joystick on the tiny thing, but
Yeah.
they'll figure it out.
I will say Dragon's Lair 2, beautiful cab, beautiful marquee, the display, that second display, awesome. You need to buy a boosterizer for it, about a 4-inch boosterizer though. It's just it's about the same height as the Gen 1 Swan Design cabs. So if you
Yeah.
were comfortable with those, then, but just for us, immediately we needed a boosterizer. But we ended up selling that one too. That game is hella difficult. Good God. It
Yeah.
was so difficult to the point where it's like, this isn't even fun. We're just getting roasted and toasted. And it was just like, it's cool. Like and my wife and I both agreed, if we had space in a basement and we could fit like, let's just say 61 ups or 41 ups, whatever the case may be, those would both be in the arcade, hands down. Because the attract mode on it, it's just cool, man. It's a showpiece. It's dope. Like, but when you have only room for, let's say, 22 cabinets, which I know sounds like a lot, but if you start chipping here and there, you run out of room fast.
You want to
And
have
it's
ones that you play a lot.
100%. If they don't get gameplay, they're out. Like, and
Yeah.
that's going to be for anything.
Do you play Star Wars a lot?
Yeah, we definitely do. So I played it. We
Yeah.
played it a lot more like a few months ago because we've been getting Time Crisis, Big Buck Hunter, Fast and the Furious. Like, so I love like putting my wife on there and not like I kind of select hard and I'm like, honey, come over here real quick. You got to play this. And then she's just like crash. It's so funny. So we'll make like funny shorts of that. It's hilarious. I set my wife up a lot. Honey, if you're watching, I'm sorry. But it's definitely a cool nostalgia piece. I would love to sell this one and get the re-released, but the re-release is too high. It's like $5.99 right now. It needs to come down to like
there's no
$4.99. Yeah.
If you've got the original, there's no need for the re-release. Does it look a little better? Does it have the light up
coin door?
The light up coin door is really cool on it, but it plays 100% the same. So there's
looking at Tron though right now it's $699.99, $700. So it's just max price right now. I would look at Kohl's if you're looking for Tron because it's they're going to do Kohl's cash incentives and they may knock 100 or 200 off that price on Black Friday.
Yeah, that's
guys. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this the whole show. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. All right, so we don't have Arcade1up breaking news, but we got some Cornercade breaking news.
Oh.
And Jason, Little Alien in the house, just gifted 10 memberships to the Cornercade.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm going to read out those names real quick. Cyber Silas, welcome. Goofyfoot, welcome. The Real Smile Bit, always glad to see your name and your face. Welcome aboard. Pagshim's in the house. Scream Min Banshee, I never heard of you, but welcome aboard. Akuma Rev, a legendary name. Welcome aboard, my guy. Dr. Z, Mike of all trades. All new members of the Cornercade. Let's go, dude. Super fun. I just want to have a little fun with you guys. You never know when I'm going to use that sound or what's going to happen, But yeah, definitely cool. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see. I would think by now, since Dragon's Lair has hit retailers, that would have been on like a major blowout sale. Let's just call it for what it is. Because that was an Arcade1up exclusive, and now it's lasted this long. It's time to just take the L on that and move.
Kind of be like the calm before the storm right now, though. Like everything's full price today, but like here in a week or two, it's all just gonna all drop. I think everything, minus maybe like the brand new cabs, like Time Crisis.
Yeah,
I think they're all gonna be on sale. $100 off on everything at least.
Yeah.
So I mean,
When I'm thinking Black Friday, I'm thinking $2.99, $3.99. Let's blow it out of the water. Let's really get that should be the time where Arcade1up takes a little bit of a loss to get people involved. So your first time buyers like, hey, this Pac Mania cab that I got was kind of cool. Like, what else did they got?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And that really helped start. And that's what kind of the casino cade started to do. I know a couple of my friends got it and they were kind of looking at, oh, this is kind of dope. Like, what else do they offer? I'm like, well, take a look. Here's this, that, and the other. Like, hey, that Pac-Man XL, that looks kind of cool. Like, you shouldn't really use it as like a bridge gap to like make sales. You're using that as just, hey, like, hey, you're handing out free stuff just to get people to come on in, like you would like a fast food place kind of thing. Hey, here's a free Whopper, try it. Come on over to Burger King kind of thing. That's what Black Friday should be. So that's at least what I'm hoping. I mean, we're coming up now on that week. Can you guys believe it? It's already going to be Thanksgiving in like a heartbeat.
yeah, 10 days.
Yep. And then before
It's
you know it,
really-
it's Christmas. But and too, you got to think, hopefully they've got something interesting to announce at CES. So
They
starting
should.
in the new year, so they get some new people buying some of these cabs, even if it's at a discounted price. Those people might be interested in seeing what do they got planned for. What else do they have planned? What else do they have coming out? So
Yeah, I hope they have a prototype of AVP, Robotron 2084, and Smash TV at CES. That would just be amazing if they had those three.
yeah.
You guys think what we quick touched on that, and I'll only keep you for a few more minutes. We touched up on like possible re-releases. Are there any kind of re-releases that you guys would like to see Arcade1up come out with?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because there's always, cabinets that people want to see re-released or improved, or maybe Arcade1up did something wrong on the previous one, like the NBA Jam and the Golden TXL. A re-release for me would probably be like a Marvel versus Capcom 2. I think, if they could improve the hardware on it, that would go a long way in them being able to run it better online. So I would like to see an MVC2 XL with a better chipset and better controls, bigger game deck, no riser, all that, of course.
Yeah, I think the only problem I see with that, first off, I think they're going to do MVC2 and XL. I think that was one of the ones on the list. I think it makes sense to do it. The problem is I don't think they'll change the chipset because they want to make sure it's fully compatible with the one that's out there now for people playing online. They don't want to
and people can't have the advantage, having the new one.
Yes,
you can't do that. So,
right. So
it would be tough. You're right.
I agree with you that it would be great if they could do it, but I don't see it happening right away.
Yeah, it would basically be two different online experiences. You would have like your MVC2 original online and then your XL online. That'd be the only way you could do it. And then you're kind of, forgetting your previous customers when you do that. So you got to keep them in part of that.
Yeah,
that leaked list is starting to concern me just a little bit because when it came to my desk, I was like, oh, this is a bunch of baloney. Like, look at these. And now I'm looking at it, and we're kind of going through the motions here. I'm like, oh God, is this thing actually like the list? Like, no offense
Star
to
Wars
anybody.
XL. I mean, it would make sense to do a Star Wars XL.
Oh,
that makes
100%.
total sense too. Yep,
100%. When you're seeing games like even like a MVSX and an Arcade1up form factor would be cool. But like when you're seeing games like I don't know, said 720, it's like.
Yeah, 720 is way
few
out
on there that I don't think are like 720 was definitely one of the ones I looked at and went, I don't see it.
Bill, I think
Cyrus
you were the first.
said,
weren't you the first person to break the list?
I was one of the first to get a video out there. I was not one of the first to get. I know who else had it.
Bad guy Mike Worley.
Bad guy Mike Worley had it. PD7 had it. No, I think my video hit first, but everybody else was making theirs. It was just, we all got the list around the same time. I think I just jumped on it a little sooner than other people. That was about it.
Yeah, that list, I think it's, some of those on there will happen, but some of those are far out there. Probably you'll never see like 720.
720, Lethal Enforcer.
I don't think we're getting that one.
I don't think we're getting it. Cyrus has said they're not working on that one.
So that means it's
okay.
But
we'll see. Which I know is actually going to upset PD7 because he would love to see that game.
Yeah, he was getting real excited. I mean, what other, I threw out there, and I'm going to say to you guys here, the next shooter should be Sega Jurassic Park shooter. And you guys would have to be like, that's a classic. But what would be the next shooter? If we were talking shooters and racers, like what do you think they could do? What else is out there?
Well, it's all going to be 80s, 90s next year until they upgrade their hardware. That's my thought. And if they're sticking to that, we do need a racer, we do need a shooter from that time. I don't House of the Dead. Everyone's begging for House of the Dead. A racer cruising, everyone's begging for
House of the Dead is still tricky just because of the like the original ROM is really just not available. They'd have to rebuild it like they did for consoles. In order to get that one on there. And then you got to figure out what else they put on there that could match with the chipset. Like I'd love Virtual Cop, I think would be great.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Virtual Cop would be a fantastic one. That is such a fun game.
Yeah.
I would like to just see Arcade1up get any Sega game. It doesn't matter what it is, just any of them. Just to show that they can do it again, because it's been so long since they've gotten a Sega license. And last I spoke with my source, that was a long time ago. That was about a month ago. But they had said the only thing that they've really gotten licenses on are what we've seen, of course, like Namco, and then Raw Thrills and Atari. But there are others that they had not gotten a license since John D left. And Capcom was one of those. Konami was one of those.
Yeah.
That they may never get those back, potentially. Now, that AVP leak was huge. That if that's real, that means they may have made some progress with Capcom since John D left.
Yep. Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they followed the trend where they do one shooter, one racer every year. So it'd be interesting to see if they buck that trend and kind of go in a different direction.
I know you want Hydro Thunder, don't you?
100%. Yeah. Hydro Thunder. I grew up as a kid.
Again, you're gonna have to wait for an upgraded chipset if you want Hydro Thunder.
it's weird to me now. You're not. So what does that run off of, Bill? Do you know?
A lot of. Don't quote me on this, but a lot of those weren't even PCBs. They were actual computers. They were actual PCs in the machines running them. That one I don't know. People who know that stuff better than me could definitely.
It came out in 2000.
Yeah,
99.
Like if we're running like Big Buck Hunter in a game like Time Crisis, could it be possible? I'm just asking. I'm not. I don't.
Well, Hydro Thunder would probably be more like Fast and the Furious. It would be like a port. And it would be it'd be slimmed down to where it would fit and work on their hardware.
I think everybody, any hardcore or hardcore casual home arcader would buy that in a heartbeat. I think my big three of like fantasy titles would be Hydro Thunder, Sega Jurassic Park Shooter, and Star Wars Trilogy. Sega Star Wars Trilogy, 100%. Yeah. Like I think those would be like new fresh titles.
Basically, they could do almost anything and just tone down the graphics and put it on their chipset. But do they want to do that? Fast and the Furious was kind of pushing that, and they get a lot of criticism early on because it wasn't the arcade port. It ended up working out for them, though. That became one of their best sellers this year, and is actually stood the test of time. People are really interested in Fast and the Furious more so, I think, now than they were when it released.
And it's interesting to see, is it Fast and the Furious, or is it because it's just a brand new title? Like, that's what we've been asking for forever. I get it, release your Pac-Mans and stuff, but then you gotta do both. You can't just tailor towards like the non-casual or the hardcore or you gotta do both because you gotta bring people into the market while satisfying the people that are already here. You can't forget about us. You can't just say, oh, we sold to him, he's done. No, what? Like, you should make it your goal, Arcade1up, not to just put one in everyone's home, to put a home arcade in everyone's home. That should be the goal. Because you're gonna, like I told you guys, not a fan of the 3-player control decks, not a fan of the 4-player. Why? Because I can fit 2 1-ups in the space of that 4-player control deck. That's double the sales. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You'd be hurting yourself by putting 4-player, by hurting myself by putting the 3-player in there, because when everybody could buy more arcades. You're in the business to sell things.
Yeah, I almost wish
and and it's sales. It really is sales 101. It's easier to sell to an existing customer than it is to get a brand new customer.
100%.
It always is.
We already know what's up.
Yeah, I wish they would though on the like doing these is like offer multiple options when they release something. Start with like you have your classic, you have your deluxe, you have your XL. Offer all three at one time. Give people the option. And then also release more stuff. Next year we need to see a lot more stuff. Like you said, Fast and the Furious. It's almost like people are interested in Fast and the Furious around this holiday season because Arcade1up hasn't made anything new. It's one of the newest cabinets they've released, and it's like we're limited to Fast and the Furious or Time Crisis if we want to get something new this year. So really, I think Arcade1up doesn't need to hit a home run or knock it out of the park on their next one. They just need to give us something new, really.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Can you imagine even something simple as like a super sprint? I'd buy that day one. Like that's a fun little 80s game. Like, what could you put like off-road on there or something? Like and kind of make it like this cool little 80s driving cab? I don't know. I don't know all the licensors. I don't know if pole position can be slapped. I don't know. But even something as simplistic as that would be super cool because it's a new title, new form factor. So,
I know too that Arcade1up right now, they're trying to lower development costs. So a lot of what they're going to make that is new is going to be like that Alien versus Predator, where they're reusing a lot of the games that they already have licenses for because they're kind of strapped for cash right now. They can't go out and get big titles and big names, licenses that we want. So they're going to kind of use what they have and give us new designs, new artwork with the same games. That's kind of what I've been hearing. We'll get a few new ones thrown in there, but there's going to be a lot of Alien versus Predator where we see a lot of the same games.
Be interesting to start piecing the puzzle together then if that's the case. I closed the poll, guys. So it says, what cabinet are you looking for on a Black Friday sale? Guys, believe it or not, Atari Pub Table took the victory. So let's go. Let's go. If you haven't seen it, Bill did a review on it. I've watched it. I definitely want to get that for our kitchen. I think that would be really dope. I think me and the wife would have a blast playing that.
It's unique. So. It's different. It's it's something that's not like everything else. And I'll tell you, it like I have 4 stools around it, so it's fun. It's great to sit at, but it's also at a really good height if you want to just stand and play too, as opposed to like a
the cocktail table.
Thank you, cocktail table.
Yep. Yeah, you got to sit at that. This is like I could literally great analogy. This is the definition of Arcade1up, functional furniture. That's what this is. I was gonna put a pub table in there. I'm like, wait a second, let me get the dimensions of something real quick. And I started. I'm like, we could fit the Atari pub table in here. And I was like, that would be pretty cool. So think about it. You get home late. I work later. It's like 10:30 at night. We're just having my wife. God bless her. She makes me dinner when I come home kind of thing. And we're just going to hang out. Maybe we don't have enough time to fire up the cornercade, but we got 45 minutes where we can have dinner and play a round of Pong. Like, that would be fun still. So, I think that's – and for $2.99 – listen, it's $4.99 on sale right now. No chance. I recommend nobody getting that at $4.99. At $2.99 –
I forget what I think I paid $2.99 for it when I grabbed mine. Yeah.
Then you got a deal.
And Thor brings up a good point. He says the controls are on the tabletop, making it not a very good as a table. Yeah, dude, don't put drinks on it. I actually have a sign in my arcade room that says, please do not put drinks on the pub table. I don't want anything on it. And it's not like the new Street Fighter. I mean, the top of it is okay, but I've even got some spots in it where it's like chipped a little bit, just from normal use and whatever. I would not put anything on top of that thing. Do not use it as a table.
Yeah, did you have some damage on your Street Fighter, Bill?
No, none at all.
No, okay.
I actually had had damage on my Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but it was hidden by the you put the control panel on and there's like a little piece on each side that holds the control panels in place that covered the spot that was damaged, or else I probably would have returned it.
Yeah, I've been hearing
it's completely covered
on Reddit, because I'll follow Reddit sometimes, and people are talking about that Arcade1up is not replacing like side panels. Like if you have a side panel has a gash in it or something, they're not replacing that anymore. They're only replacing things that affect the gameplay. Any cosmetic stuff, they're not replacing on tickets anymore. That's what I've been hearing lately.
Huh. Interesting. I will tell you though, I mean, the way they package these things now, it's it they're very well packaged. I mean, they're
Yeah.
somebody would have had to really screw up in shipping it to put a gash in something with the way these things are packaged now. They
I've
do
had like little
much better
things
job.
happen, like where things just don't fit together exactly the way they should,
Mhm.
but they're just little cosmetic things and I get over it. But I always buy from stores that like Walmart, Best Buy. I watched Mo tonight on his. He did a show and he talked about it. He likes buying from Walmart and Best Buy because we have the ability to return it. If we get
Yes.
it and it's shipped to us in really bad shape, we
Mhm.
just take it back up to the store.
Mhm.
Where Arcade1up's pushing a lot of stuff to Shop Hippo right now. People aren't 100% comfortable buying from Shop Hippo because it's difficult to work with them if you have a problem.
Yeah, 100%. Because then you're
Yeah.
at least covered a little bit. You're not getting it from like Steve's discount store, and you're kind of
Like
like,
you got to
well,
really want something to get it from Shop Hippo, where you'll kind of like go out of your way to get something at Walmart or Best Buy because you can return it.
yeah, I got my first ever Shop Hippo purchase right here, the Time Crisis. So
Yeah,
that's
it
pretty
worked
exciting.
out.
Yep, it worked out. There's no damage to it at all. There was actually a run where me and my wife were running into damage at their not working or faulty part cab, and we guys, we have 16 one-ups now, but we probably purchased close to 40 one-ups
Wow.
because when something comes in, we'll flip it, and we at least get 90% of what we paid for it back, and then we can put it towards the new cabinet. And it's really cool because you get to see the evolution of these cabs, and like I said, we're big home arcade YouTubers. We play the games and we love them. So these are not functional furniture pieces for us, but we had a run where like T2, the entire T molding on both panels was like, it's like someone just took it and ripped it off. It was just all bent out of shape, and I'm like, oh,
Wow.
this really sucks. So I put the cab together because I wanted to play it, but I immediately sent it to One Up, and One Up said, "Hey, we got new panels already on the way," kind of thing. So they used to. I don't know now because I haven't really run into anything like that. But I guarantee you, there's no way on the face of the planet One Up's not going to replace something that's cosmetically damaged on my cab. I don't care what their policy is. I will make damn sure. I'm like, you
You're
go
gonna
get me a
make them.
number right now. Yeah, I'm like, I'm one of the like, come on
He's,
now.
he's on the phone. Do you know who I am?
Like, no,
Come
no, like,
on. Do you know
you
who
know
I
how much
am?
money I spent with you all? Come on now. Like, come on now. Like, you got to be able to
I
replace
have
it. But
seen some
I
people
have,
though with YouTube channels. They'll have something happen to them with Arcade1up, and they'll go post it, and then it'll end up getting solved later.
Oh yeah.
Because
oh,
It's
it's very funny how that works.
mhm.
We've done that. We've done that before with Lou Malnati's. We go and we say, hey, like the pizza, the whole sauce was off of it. I can't eat this, and then nothing. But my wife's like, okay, don't want to do nothing. We'll go to Facebook. 30 seconds later, we get a free pizza pie
Mhm.
coupon or
yeah.
whatever. It's
Yep.
like, why does it have to get like that? The same thing happened to Shop Hippo too. We literally said, hey guys, where's the tracking number? PD7 let us know that his is actually coming Thursday. Like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going? We've emailed 7 times, nothing. And my wife's like, you know what? I appreciate it. We emailed like 7 times now. We're just not going to do business with you anymore. This will be our first and last purchase. That was the email that said, okay, we have a tracking number. It'll be out Friday. I'm like,
Mhm.
why
Yeah.
does it have to get to that point? Why
Yeah.
can't you just be nice and say, hey, we were wondering where it was because other people's are actually arrived or have gotten a shipping track. I just wanted to make sure that my purchase went through at the end of the day.
One of the worst with
Crazy.
that is Joe Zabos. Like he'll take months
No,
to
he's
send you something, but if you email him, he'll speed it up. You'll get it in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, if you guys want to order from Joe Sabos, I highly recommend it. I got a Killer Instinct marquee and I have a Dig Dug marquee. But right when you place an order, just email him immediately saying, "Where is my order?" Because otherwise you're going to be waiting a whole summer, 3 months, no joke. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even being exaggeristic. I don't know how it's running over there. It clearly is successful because people are ordering stuff, but literally it takes.
He's
he, like,
probably got like
handcrafts stuff.
thousands of orders that he's never shipped that people like never followed up with him on because he's like literally
100%.
he won't send it till you contact him.
100%. But yeah, I would always get my marquees from Joe Sabos.
Mm.
So we got a question here from P-Dubs Arcade Loft. Let's go, man. He says, for the panel or anyone, what arcade are you waiting to go on sale to pull the trigger on this holiday season? Great question. I'll start it off. You already know it's the Atari pub table for me because I have everything else pretty much. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I pretty much said mine before. It's Dragon's Lair and Tron. Those are the two I'm waiting on. I would love another one on my radar is the new Deluxe class of '81, but I'm not holding my breath on that one going on sale. It's too new.
Yeah, for me, it's Street Fighter Yoga Flame and Mortal Kombat. I don't care which Mortal Kombat, either or 30th or Deluxe, and then maybe Blitz. These are all cabinets that have been out for a while. A lot of y'all have these cabinets, but I've waited and waited for the right deal on these. And I may get all three for less than the price of one. You know, I may get three for 500, you know, or 600.
That'd be really cool. The Class 81 Bill, that's a phenomenal cabinet. I have it.
Yeah.
The slanted screen makes the entire difference. Like when I said right form factor, right game kind of thing, 100%. Like that cab is awesome.
All right, guys,
so
listen,
that,
before
Yep.
you move on, I got to apologize because it's actually midnight where I am, and I do have to work in the morning.
I
So
was
I'm
literally
going to
just going to
bow
wrap
out.
it up. Yep. So perfect
Oh,
timing.
you're going to bow out? Okay,
Yep.
then
I
I'll
was thinking
around
about you,
literally-
Bill.
Okay.
I know
I was
you're in New
literally-
York. I was
Yep.
like, man, it's getting late there.
Yeah.
Yes. The show is about that 2-hour mark. So, guys, we're going to put a pin in it. I'm going to bring you guys down. I really appreciate you guys for coming on the show tonight, talking Arcade1up sales. We'll have to come back, maybe circle back and do some predictions or maybe some CES coverage in January to see like where, you know, we're at from this conversation to the next kind of thing. Because I think that would be really cool to kind of see everything unfold there. But I appreciate it again, guys, for stopping on. This is Danny again from the Corner K. We were joined by Bill and BiggyD tonight, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Give this video a like on the way out. Make sure to check these guys out, too. They have great content. That's why we bring them here. See you later, guys. This is Danny from the Corner K. We'll see you in the next one.
See y'all later.
Bye, guys.